welcome back to Random Road in 80. So we are doing a massive debrief of our latest Disney trip in May. And in case you guys are watching this video first and you haven't seen the last two videos, we're actually talking about day 3. So I highly suggest you go back and watch day 1 and day 2. But in case you want to stick around for this one, we're talking about the trip that Jared gave me for my 30th birthday. So there were several things that I wrote down my 30 for 30 list. And on this one, we have a couple of highlights. One of them was I wanted to eat gluten-free churros because I had never had a churro in my life. And then Jared had a surprise. We went to Animal Kingdom and we parked in Dinosaur 38. I don't know why I remember that. I was very excited about Animal Kingdom. This one has not necessarily been on my top park list until recently, but I have a new fondness for Animal Kingdom now. When we got there,
everything was broken.
Everything was broken.
Nothing was running as scheduled or planned. Everything was broken.
But we did take some time to go meet Doug and Russell, because that was on my list, and that was probably one of my favorite character interactions we've ever had.
They're really good.
One, I think it was the very, very beginning of the day, so they were still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Well, I mean, we were like number 3 in line as they walked up and like, okay, we're gonna start doing meeting. Like, they walked in this way, we walked in the line, saw them, and went like whoop right into the line.
Yeah.
So we were like number 2 or 3 in line.
So they were really energetic and just very animated. Russell was very animated, but Doug was like acting like a dog. And he kept wanting to give snuggles and hugs and stuff. And I asked if he wanted to come home with me, and he said yes. I said, I think Russell would be heartbroken. But anyway, really, really great character interaction. They were awesome. And we got some amazing pictures. We had a very amazing PhotoPass photographer.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
So kudos to you, PhotoPass people. Y'all are amazing. But yes, we then walked over to Expedition Everest, which is one of our favorite rides, and it was broken. Sad day. We did have a fast pass for Dinosaur.
Hello there.
So we rode it in the standby line, which was only 5 minutes long at that point, and then we rode it again with our fast pass because I love it that much. The cheese factor on that ride is perfect. Then we waited in line for the Triceratops spin.
Primeval
Whirl. That's the one. We that one definitely felt like a Six Flags ride. I think that was kind of the point, was to feel like one of those
the line
rides.
and everything.
Yeah.
Feels like you're going through a line at like Six Flags. More than it did at Disney.
And we shared a car with a dad and his little girl who was maybe, 8?
Yeah.
8 to 10. And she was having a blast, and Dad was like,
and all 3 of us were like,
He made the point that next time he was going to time travel, he's going to have to time travel with his back insurance. And then I believe we went to... Did we go to Everest after that?
Yes.
Okay, because it was open by then.
Yes.
And it was only like a 30-minute wait at that point.
Something like that.
And we had a really cute girl in line who was really talkative.
Oh. It's like, her words, not mine.
She was...
No, you're talking the little... Okay,
little girl who was celebrating her birthday as well. That was what started the conversation. Was she saw my birthday button, and she had a birthday button on too, and she was turning 5. And she was starting kindergarten in the fall. And she was just so excited to be at Disney.
And they talked the entire time.
Yes, she was really adorable. But then after that, we went over to Pandora, and we watched the Pandora Drummers, which was on my list of things to do. And we ate at Satuli Canteen, which was also on my list of things that I really wanted to do. And that was really fun because we ended up, there was no seats inside. So we went outside on like the little porch area, and we were actually able to watch the show with the guy in the
mechanical walker,
the exoskeleton kind of thing.
Exosuit.
Yep. So that was interesting. It was like dinner and a show. And then that was when Jared was saying, hey, we have to be somewhere for your surprise at 1 o'clock. So we did some looking at the schedule and we decided to go ahead and go over to Nomad Lounge and get my gluten-free churros. I also had a leaping lizard, and you got the watermelon
something
or other. They were both really good. But the gluten-free churros were life-changing.
On point.
They're like really crispy on the outside, but still really nice and like
they're very fluffy and light on the inside. Yeah, that was by far, I think, probably the favorite thing either of us had to eat while we were there.
Pretty much.
For the entirety of the
trip. That includes stuff at the Flower and Garden Festival.
We literally, on the day we left, changed our flight and made a special trip to Animal Kingdom to buy some cards to send for Mother's Day and get churros.
Yep. That's how amazing they were.
To go get churros.
But we'll talk about that in another video. And then the other really exciting thing, so at this point, I'm in a long skirt, like a maxi skirt, and it's very flowy and very swishy, and I'm in Tom's. And Jared, we like are going to leave Nomad Lounge, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go use the restroom before whatever we're about to do, just because I have to go. And he's like, well, while you're in there, change into these pants and these shoes, these tennis shoes. And I'm like, okay. You managed to get my pants and my shoes in the bag without me noticing.
From the house.
From the house.
Didn't know that I had them with me.
Yes.
Because they were not in your planned clothing.
No. B, you managed to get them packed in your bag on the way to the park without me noticing. So that was impressive. And so I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And I had like, I was like trying to put the pieces together of like what we were going to do. And I was like, there's no way we're doing that. Like we have a budget. And so we end up walking over to Africa. And as we keep walking, like it's in the back corner of the park. So you eliminate a lot of possibilities as you're walking. And at one point I'm like, are we seriously doing the Wild Africa trek? Okay, so Jared secretly packed me pants and shoes, which I'm actually very impressed with. Good job, babe. But I still don't know what we're doing.
Shades on. Alright, so we have our wardrobe change. Pants, shoes. Where are we going?
Going to Africa Wild Trek.
Ta-da!
I'm so excited. And we got our own little name tags. Yay! Now this is something that I had thought about doing for a very, very long time, but it is a little bit more on the pricey side. But Jared made it happen, and I'm so excited. It was so amazing. So, yeah, so we had like, what, 10 minutes once we actually checked in to just kind of wait.
They tell you to get there 20 minutes early so that the people that are inherently late all the time are on time. We were there 20 minutes early, so we ended up having to twiddle our thumbs for 20 minutes. So,
but that was nice because then I kind of had the ability to like wrap my brain around what we were about to do and kind of get in a good mindset. The lady was like harnessing me up and she was like, so what are you most excited to see? And I'm like, to be honest, I just found out about this 5 minutes ago, so I haven't really thought about it. But it was awesome. So they like put you in harnesses like you would probably go use for rock climbing, but they have a vest attached to it, so that you're actually clipped in on your back. So you just kind of felt extreme wearing that. Plus you packed you were wearing your hiking pants and then you packed my hiking pants, which have little cargo pockets and everything in them too. So I felt very extreme in my outfit. And they literally like strap everything to you. Like they give you sunglasses, straps.
You're not allowed to have any loose items whatsoever.
They wrap these little things around your phone cases. So you can still take photos and videos on the trek. You just have to keep them in your pocket, and then
But your phone must be physically attached to you in some way at all points.
And then they give you water bottles.
Also must be attached.
Which they attach, and then they actually had bug spray and sunscreen available for you to use right there. So that, I mean, honestly, they thought of everything on this. So yeah, we got all harnessed up, and we got name tags on, and that first part was kind of fun because you actually go out into, like, the park. Like the actual park where everybody's allowed to go. And so all these people see is like the 6 of us in these like outfits with our harnesses and everything walking through the park, and you kind of feel like a VIP, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So they took us like to the reptile area, which
we went through the zoo.
I had no idea that area of the park existed.
There's an actual full-blown zoo at the back of the park.
Yeah. And
it's a small zoo, but it's actually an accredited zoo.
Yeah, and I had never been back there before, which was amazing. So when we go with Reagan in September, yeah, I think we should definitely make time to actually go back there and look at all the animals.
I think we went back there on our honeymoon, but it was very expedited.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got to see some reptiles. Of one in particular, a bullfrog that I can't remember what they named him. He's huge. And then we went through the aviary section, and then we went through the hippo, like viewing area, but then we were led back behind the hippo enclosure. And that was kind of like our first big like thing on the
you
trek.
could stand on an overhang cliff, clipped into a harness.
Yeah.
And like look down over the cliff at where the hippos were.
And they fed him.
And fed him for us. Yeah.
That was cool. Amazing.
So currently Jared's challenge is to get the carabiner with one hand on his left hand.
I did it once, just no one was watching.
Does it really happen if you didn't get it on camera?
As someone who plays golf, I can tell you no. At least not as anyone else is concerned.
There he is. Hey, buddy. He is ready.
Hi. Thank you. Just banging on the bucket, and the boys know. Normally, if you're a boy hippo, you want lots of girlfriends. You don't want to share those girlfriends. Very territorial. But so yeah. And all right, you ready? Mine's big. Open. I want it really big. Good boy. That's awesome. Good job.
A lot of
Here comes Daddy.
Yep.
Many other places I know that they have their own research.
Wow, look at that.
I think it's a palatable thing. It's not something you make.
Do they ever do alfalfa?
And then we continued on and saw. Oh,
we went up over the bridges, the cable and slat bridges over the hippo enclosure.
Yeah.
That was where you were really clipped in, so you had to walk across. It was basically like a rope bridge over to a different platform, and then do another one. And they took pictures and stuff, and then we stopped and we got to pet a small python, the smallest species of python. So it was only like 4 or 5 feet long.
His name was Sir Hiss.
Sir Hiss, yep.
It's actually the call for the hippos to come into the water. And the girls should be about ready to come in. Once you hear that, you'll get a whole line of hippos going. Alright, you're all clear.
This is the coolest.
You're welcome to touch, yeah.
Oh my god.
He's been with
She's
us
very
since
shy.
2014. Yes, I think he's trying to go through my belt loop again. Can you not?
What is he?
He is an Angolan python, so it's actually a pretty rare species, even in captivity to see. So,
Yay!
Chibi, look at that sunshine.
I just love that his name is Sir Hiss.
He is full grown.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, so they're one of the smaller of the python species. So 6 feet max, and he's right about 5 feet right now.
Oh, really?
Wow.
When he's all coiled out.
No
But
shit.
They are a constricting species, so that's how they do away with their prey, is by
so fun.
squeezing, hugging. And we feed rodents here just like they would typically eat out in the wild.
Awesome.
So we finished that rope bridge area and we got to go back through some more trails. And then you actually take off your harness and get on a
Private safari truck.
private safari truck. And so then you go through the second half of Kilimanjaro safaris, but they take you through some different roads and you can actually stop and
It's
just
an
observe.
extended safari.
Yeah, observe the animals, which was so awesome because we got some really amazing up close views of the giraffes and the wildebeest and just all of the amazing animals that they had there on the safari.
Things on his head, they're very fuzzy. At this age, they really should not be that fuzzy. And I love him for it. Let's pull forward, Neil. And we will hang out a little bit more right here would be perfect.
Hi, Wyatt.
My friends, if you would like to stand up now, please feel free to do so. We're all here to stand up. Yes, so they look like truffleatry. So over time, when
Yes.
they're first born, they're very fuzzy, and it's cartilage. It's not made out of bone, and they're kind of floppy, and then they're very fuzzy. And then over time, the males they'll actually do a behavior called necking. Have any of you ever seen that online before? It's where the boys stand next to each other and they'll whack each other in the neck with their heads. It's a dominance behavior. Our boys, they do it. They kind of spar with each other. They don't hit each other very hard, but the hair kind of goes away, kind of balls over. Wyatt's just grew sideways instead, so he kind of looks like an awkward monk. Almost, if you would turn around, you would actually see the bald spots in the middle of his ossicles. But these are Maasai giraffe. Does anybody know how many species of giraffe there are? Just stop. Oh goodness. Now, before I just continue, right up the road. Does anybody got older kids about giraffe? Your kids are staying specifically Wyatt. We're not supposed to pick favorites. Okay, look at that thing. This one went up in the road. Exactly. Kids. Oh my goodness. Here, we'll pull up just a little bit further so we'll get a little bit better view. I have some wildebeest, actual champions. Awesome. My friends, if you would like to stand up, please feel free to do so. So we've got some giraffes that are walking this way. We're surrounded by wildebeest. Wildebeest, they don't get enough love, honestly. We have 17 in our herd here, 17 bodies, but they share one brain, and it bounces from wildebeest to wildebeest. They were framed.
Framed.
I like how you both said that in unison.
We are very passionate about this. They actually did a behavior.
Alright, how are we? By the way, how are
She is my spirit animal.
This one likes it.
Oh no, that one is not. That's one of our colleagues. Okay. If it was Wyatt, I'd be like, it's true love. Honestly, like we need to be together. But there is a lot of stress. So if they want to come inside, we give them that chance. But you see all this burlap sack that's not going to be on all the time. That is currently letting our babies know. This is where you can go. This is where you can go. So it's just a big But she's laying down over there. That's not her behavior you would actually see out in the wild. Once they like, first of all, it takes them a while to get out. Now, real quick, watch as this is Seymour, who's on the left-hand side over here. Watch how he walks. He steps left, left, right, right. He's currently pushing the little piece out of the way. The boys, we have 3 older boys. They're about 2 or 3 years old. They're jerks to the wildebeest. They will all be laying down to sleep, and they'll just come barreling down the hill right through the middle of them, and it spooks the wildebeest, which actually brings me back to that behavior. Anytime you spook one wildebeest and it starts running, the rest are like, oh, there's a reason, and they just start running as well, which is why they were great. The hyenas, they didn't. Also, hyenas are great animals. They're not very like they're actually incredibly intelligent. Yes. So with training sessions, we always look for the one thing that's gonna give them that positive reinforcement. A lot of the time, they're very food motivated. With our lady, with our female.
And then they actually took us to a boma, which is a house.
Yeah.
And they had some snacks for us, and they actually had a gluten-free version for me that was labeled gluten-free, and they had jungle juice.
Which is awesome.
It's like our favorite. I think we had more of that than we had anything else.
It gives you a sugar high though.
It was awesome. But like it's out on like a covered porch, so as you're eating your snack, you're just looking out over the safari, and you can see the other safari jeeps going through the attraction and all the animals, and then they also have some caretakers that are going out and feeding all the animals as well. And so there's a lot of amazing things to watch and good conversation with our tour guides. They were fabulous. So yeah, it was amazing, and honestly like the best birthday surprise ever. Good job, babe. You pulled that one off really well. I was completely surprised.
So were all of the guides. They're like, she didn't know about this, and she did all the planning for this trip. I'm like, yep. They're like, and you got her all the way here with different clothes without her knowing? I'm like, yep. They're like, wow.
Superstar. Honestly, a highlight. Yes, it did throw a monkey wrench in the touring plan that I had, but it was totally worth it.
Because she had a fast pass for the Kilimanjaro Safari I could not convince her to get rid of.
Yeah, but we ended up getting rid of it. Like I said, I used it for Expedition Everest. But I don't think we actually ended up using it because we stood in line for 3 hours.
3.5 hours.
In Flight of Passage. So neither of us had seen the standby queue before, because even though we stood standby for it last time in November, they actually took us through the fast pass line. Not that necessarily we wanted to wait in that line that long, but it was still awesome, A, to go on it. Like that's still one of the few rides that I can get on multiple times and literally be able to suspend reality for a few, seconds.
Even if you could only literally ride it twice in one day, because that's how long it is.
Yeah, but it's so amazing of a ride. And then we got to see all of the amazing environments and sets and rooms that they created for that ride. I don't think that queue gets enough love on social media and stuff. The lab that they have at the very end with all of the little experiments going on, that's fabulous. Like that's
cool.
Stuff that you can do with your middle school aged kids, in their schools, but they use them as sets for the line, and I thought it was so well done.
And also you could buy most of them at the gift shop.
But yeah, so I did not necessarily enjoy the time we spent in line, but I did enjoy the line itself. And then we decided to leave Animal Kingdom, and we actually hopped over to Epcot that night. And we rode Soarin', and we rode Spaceship Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we got some food and watched fireworks.
You got poutine. I tried the orange chicken. I got my orange slushie with my orange bird. He's cute. So cute. He's going to sit in the office. But yeah, so we watched Illuminations because even though we're going to be there in September right before it closes and has its last performance, the likelihood of Reagan making it to 9 o'clock at night is probably very slim. So we watched it, and I remember why I usually don't make time to watch it. I know it sounds bad, but it's just not that exciting of a show. The fireworks are pretty cool for like the 2 minutes that they actually shoot off fireworks, but the whole globe thing, like you can't see the details on the globe very well.
It's a good idea, but
poor execution.
The globe needs to be about 5 times bigger than what it is for it to have any effect, and that would be extremely huge.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for a new show at Epcot, to be very honest. And I really hope that they bring the drones back. That'd be so awesome. Honestly, you made this day so awesome. Making sure the animal track got off well. So kudos to you, because it was
very hard to convince you of things when I couldn't tell you why I was trying to convince you of things. Like convincing you to put shoes in the bag even though you weren't planning on wearing them. I'm like, well, you know, you never know. If your feet might hurt, you might need to switch them out.
Or they got wet.
No, or you need to wear them on the Africa track. But I couldn't say that.
No, you did so well, babe.
And I actually snuck them into the bag, and you caught right before we zipped the bag up. You're like, why are my shoes in there? I'm like,
you did so well.
Maybe you might need them. You never know. You need to have some shoes with support. Oh, okay.
You convinced me very well.
Except for changing that Kilimanjaro Safari Fast Pass.
We used it for Soren.
Yeah, but it took like 2 weeks. I tried to change that stupid thing, and you would not change. You're like, nope, it's one of my favorite rides. I'm like, I know, but you won't need it. I couldn't say that.
Thanks for being patient with me, and good job. All right, we will see you guys next week.